In the Dragon Ball franchise, there are few characters with more development than Piccolo. Beginning as the ancient demon king and the evil side of Kami, King Piccolo would be defeated by Goku and then reincarnated into his most iconic form of Piccolo Jr. Originally wanting to continue his father's plot for world domination, Piccolo slowly gave up on such pursuits and became a much better person, eventually fighting alongside Goku and doing his best to keep up with his rival in the face of Goku's incredible power boosts. Despite having lost much of his relevance in the modern Dragon Ball, there have been a number of times where Piccolo has surpassed Goku and become the most powerful fighter. But when exactly did this happen? Well, in this video, I'm going to discuss that. Make sure to subscribe and enable all notifications so you can stay up to date with all of my videos. Now before the video begins, I just want to go over some general rules that I'll be applying here. Like my previous entries in the series, I won't be factoring in Kaioken during my estimates. That's because it's a technique that artificially boosts Goku's power, rather than being his real maximum power level. Additionally, I'll be including points during the series that are more ambiguous, such as during time periods where he may have surpassed Goku, but wasn't explicitly stated to do so. Obviously, those are up for interpretation, but don't be surprised when I include them. So the story of Piccolo begins with the Nameless Namekian, a survivor of the Great Namekian catastrophe from centuries before the main events of Dragon Ball. This Namekian lost his memories of his homeworld and wandered the Earth in search of a purpose.
Because as we both know, without purpose, we would not exist.
This is where he found out about Kami, the god of the earth, and became his apprentice, hoping to become the next god. However, this was rejected, as there is still a great evil lurking within the Namekian. As a result, this Namekian purged the evil from his heart, splitting himself into Kami and King Piccolo, and significantly lowering his power. Despite that, King Piccolo is already more powerful than all of the martial artists on Earth. In his prime, Piccolo is more powerful than Goku from the majority of the first series, and this power advantage also continued over into his ancient form upon his release from captivity. However, upon drinking the Ultra Divine Water and having his hidden power unleashed, Goku surpassed and defeated King Piccolo. However, just before his death from unnecessary explosionitis, King Piccolo released an egg which contained his final son and his reincarnation, Piccolo Jr., who was stated to be even more powerful and have greater potential than his father. This is when Goku went to train with Kami so that he'd be ready to fight Piccolo by the time of the 23rd tournament. Considering how close in power the two were at the tournament, it's not unlikely that Piccolo's levels surpassed Goku's during this time skip, at least until Goku was finally able to edge him out near the end, defeating him with great difficulty during their fight. This leads into Dragon Ball Z, where Goku and Piccolo teamed up to face Raditz, who at the time was more powerful than both of them combined. Going by power levels, Goku maintained his advantage over Piccolo, but going by techniques, Piccolo was superior here, because Piccolo had created an ultimate new move, the Makako Sappo, or Special Beam Cannon, which had a higher power level than Goku's Kamehameha, and was able to kill Raditz and Goku at the same time. So even if he wasn't stronger through brute strength, Piccolo can say that he's still the only one to kill a main character and villain in the same arc. They were brothers too, so that probably adds some bonus points. After this, Piccolo took Goku's son Gohan as his student in order to train him for the upcoming battle with the Saiyans, who would arrive on Earth within a year. During the first 6 months of the year, Goku wasn't able to train, as he was too busy running along Snake Way to reach King Kai's world. Meanwhile, Piccolo was training himself intensely, fighting against himself with the multiform technique, as well as meditating and sparring with Gohan. As a result, it's highly likely that Piccolo, as well as Gohan and the humans who were training under Kami, all surpassed Goku during this time. So for once in the show, Goku was the weakest out of the main cast.
Ironic.
Of course, Goku would far surpass all of them while training under King Kai, achieving a power level over 8,000, and some very helpful new abilities like the Spirit Bomb and the Kaioken. Piccolo would unfortunately die while fighting the Saiyans, because he dove in front of a blast meant for Gohan, and forgot that he could just wish him back. Damn you, newfound human compassion! This is when he made his way to King Kai's planet, along with the human fighters who also died, and began to train with an even harder regimen with the express request of surpassing Goku. But this would be a tough task, because Goku had recovered and was on his way to Namek. During this time, Goku trained under higher gravity, all the way up until 100 times that of the Earth, which increased his power level over 10 times to 90,000. In a quick note, it was 90,000. The power rating that Ginyu got of 180 was when Goku was using the Kaioken, which you can even tell because he's surrounded by a red aura, which is kind of a dead giveaway. But speaking of the dead, Piccolo's power boost proved to be rather mighty himself, because when he arrived on planet Namek, he encountered the warrior Namekian Nail. And what Nail said is that Piccolo had astounding power, and must have been doing some incredible training before he arrived. Now let's remember, Nail had seen a lot happen before this. He sensed the power of the Ginyu Force, as well as Goku, and the fight between Vegeta, Gohan, Krillin, and Frieza. And of course, he also fought Frieza himself. Yet he compliments Piccolo and says that his power is incredible. That one statement speaks volumes about Piccolo's power leap under King Kai, especially when he was only there for about a week. So it's entirely possible that Piccolo had surpassed base Goku at this stage. Now during this time period, Goku had been seriously injured after Captain Ginyu took over his body and was promptly beaten down by Vegeta. This is when he was placed into the healing chamber, where he was incapacitated and recovering for nearly an hour. Afterward, he got a large Zenkai boost. However, before he exited, we can't really gauge his exact strength. It's not like Toriyama put a power meter next to his head which told us, Son Goku, healing 50% complete. Maximum base power level now 1.5 million. So I'm just going to go by his prior power level of 90,000 for now. After being complimented by Nail, he and Piccolo merged together and Piccolo's power increased massively, to where he was able to fight against and get the better of second form Frieza, who had a power level of over 1 million. However, Frieza was able to transform into his third form, and Piccolo's relevance would pretty much end in the arc, because after Goku exited the healing chamber, his power level had increased to 3 million. And about 20 episodes later, Goku had become a Super Saiyan, increasing his base power by 50 times, and allowing him to pimp slap Frieza into defeat. At this point, Goku retained the dominance over Piccolo for years to come. However, Piccolo's gains didn't stop here, because after training with Goku and Gohan for 3 years, he had far surpassed Goku's base form. We saw this when he dominated Dr. Gero during their fight, and was stayed by Krillin to be almost as strong as a Super Saiyan. And Krillin's frame of reference for this was Goku and Vegeta. Furthermore, we saw Piccolo training with Super Saiyan Goku in the manga, so he was clearly above Goku's base form. After Goku went down with the Heart Virus and the Z-Fighters were defeated by Androids 17 and 18, Piccolo would once again surpass Goku. This happened when he returned to Kami's lookout for the first time in centuries and reunited with his other half, increasing Piccolo's power to being above that of both Goku and Vegeta, with Vegeta being stated to have surpassed Goku by Piccolo. And of course, Piccolo trained with Super Saiyan Goku for 3 years and would have known his maximum power. This power was enough to allow Piccolo to fight against Imperfect Cell and then Android 17. Based on his performance, I'd say that Piccolo was likely stronger than 17. He would have killed him with his scatter shot attack if it wasn't for 17's force field, and I have my doubts that he would survive the Hellstone grenade, considering how 17 leaped out of the way in fear of his life. Piccolo grew even stronger in this arc, entering the time chamber and performing well against the Cell Juniors in battle. However, unfortunately, this was the last time that Piccolo's power would be relevant in the story, because once Goku exited the time chamber with Gohan, Piccolo would never surpass him again. His character began to take a backseat to the Saiyans, and he was reduced to a babysitter and a jobber to the future villains. Now, Piccolo would remain more powerful than Goku's base form until Battle of Gods, but that's when Goku achieved Super Saiyan God and then transcended everyone in base form alone. Despite this, Piccolo would still grow astronomically more powerful in Super, being able to defeat Super Saiyan 2 Gohan in combat and fighting against enemies that Ultimate Gohan struggled with, like the Universe 6 Saiyans, as well as Moro's henchmen. It seems that through training with Gohan, Piccolo's power may now be somewhat comparable to his. And considering how Gohan was stated to rival Goku's power in the anime, and how Gohan eliminated Kefla in the manga, that's a big leap in power to say the least. So will Piccolo ever surpass Goku again? At this point, I doubt it. Toriyama, Toyotaro, and Toei have had numerous chances to make this happen. They could have had Piccolo train with Whis, attain God Ki, enter the time chamber with Goku and Vegeta before the Universe 6 tournament.
How about it, Piccolo? You wanna go with me?
No thanks, I'm good.
What the fuck?
And so many other options that never happened. But for now, they seem fine with him being a background character who will never again compete with the man who once served as his rival and mortal enemy. So this has been Every Time Piccolo Surpassed Goku. Let me know your own thoughts down below in the comments. Make sure to subscribe and enable all notifications so you can stay up to date with all of my videos. Thanks for watching, and make sure to stick around because there's a lot more to come in the future.
Yeah, and you better subscribe.